Two.
That was fantastic. Where's this damn intro? Let's just play this. That was amazing because it seemed like everyone was in the wrong thing. But hey, everybody, you're watching Unpopular Review, the entertainment side of things. This is the Trio of Destiny. We're going to talk about Echo, episode 4 and 5, the last 2 episodes of this miniseries. You have the Great Grand Slam Pooba. We're joined with the Cedar Superior. She's going to be right back. Technical difficulties. And we're back with the most wanted man in all of entertainment.
That's right.
Victor. There we go. Double V. Double V, how are you?
Chilling, fam. How are you? Good to see you. Good to
see
you.
Award, so I'm good.
Very nice to be so wanted. That's crazy.
I know, the most wanted man. I mean, the year just started. I mean, right now you are the trophy. You are the world heavyweight champion, sir.
Oh, damn! I need to bring that out. Hold up. Ooh.
There we go.
I don't have any belts on me. Damn. Okay.
You're the belt collector. It's almost surprising.
Damn.
But you wasn't able to be on yesterday, so I see you gets prepared. Why don't you just tell us real quick, what do you think about the first 3 episodes of Echo?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because clearly you could see that there's going to be more than one season as far as, because they're doing a long game as far as telling her origin story, because I got a feeling a lot of people don't necessarily know who Echo is or her past. But so I like how they're connecting it to Ronin and Hawkeye and Daredevil and all of that. So it definitely feels like the beginning of something, because, the one thing that I didn't expect was for her to have powers based on her indigenous ancestry. So a lot of that I think that is really cool, because I really didn't expect it to go that far as the indigenous history. And you could tell, like, even at the end credits, they were all thinking of like the tribes in Oklahoma and stuff like that. Like they went in with this. So I thought it was real interesting, because there's a lot of that culture that just gets lost.
Yeah, and apparently in the comics, she does have powers in the comics, right? It's kind of similar to Taskmaster in a way. So they kind of flipped it a little bit and added this whole ancestry thing, if I'm not mistaken. So that's interesting that they did that. Excuse me. But yeah, episode 4, it picks up with.
So it picks up from after. Oh, you want me to take it, or you got this?
Oh no, I remember at the beginning.
Go that's your thing. Lead that intro, please.
Wilson Fisk is in Oklahoma, not playing. And I said this. We have a group chat, and I said this in the group chat when he came out. And you think he about to poke her eye out or something, give her a little payback, a little taste of her own medicine after she shot him in the eye. He puts in like a little contact lens.
That was ill.
Yeah, that helps him. That sign
speaks,
to help her see, like, an AI sign when he speaks.
Oh my
and in
God.
the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this man get things done. What can he not do?
Oh, come on, though. It was a cheap way. Eventually, she says something about that. But it was, look, I get it. It's nice. It's cute. It's technology. Technology is great. I have technology right here. It's a phone.
You know what?
I mean, you get, go ahead, Vic. I mean, you got a lot to say.
If that was Tony Stark, it would have been
Thank you. Everyone would be here for it if it was Tony Stark. But just because it's the Kingpin, they want to make it seem like it's a bad thing.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Because, Tony... He has a lot of body. Well, he actually do have a lot of bodies on his hand. Never mind. Go carry on.
You know what? Though, look, Dan's got a point though, because at the same time, like, he practically raised her and didn't learn the sign language.
No,
like
he's a busy man.
No, but you know what was?
You're right. He's busy killing people. You're right. You can't get that interfere in your schedule.
No, but what was gangster was that, like, he would have conversations with her and then kill the translator. Like that was hilarious. Yeah, that was crazy. Like how you have
I love that.
Talking about we can't trust nobody. Clearly,
I love that scene. Actually, I'm glad that you mentioned that because that was hilarious. Because you hear in the back, no, I won't tell anybody, and you see that they have like this plastic over the wall and stuff like that. But I did want to touch on a scene a little bit earlier, talking about her in her youth. She might have been like 5 or 6, trying to get ice cream, and this guy was just a jerk, saying you have to speak. Clearly he knows that she's deaf, but he's a dick. And Wilson Fisk, and I'll give it to you, C, on this one, because this I have to say, this was great. When he sit there and see that his niece is being bullied, he says, "Drop a pull over." And then he walks her, and I laugh because he has the most fastest fat walk I've ever seen in my life. He gets behind this guy and pounds the hell out of him. And then and Fisk is so suave, right? Because I don't know why you would wear white and you're kicking some dude's butt, right? But he wears white, got blood on him, and he says, "I need another suit. I don't need not Maya. Is it Maya? Maya.
Yeah,
I don't need Maya. And Maya sees this, and that was her first taste of blood because she kicked that dude in the knee. Well done, and I was supporting that. And the way Fisk was like,
right.
I don't know, the way he was like, what?
Mm-hmm. She was surprised that she was so violent at such a young age. But I like I said, I've said many times, I like Fisk. He can't. Not everybody has the time, especially in his at his age and his. He runs a lot of things. He can't spend all of his time, unfortunately, learning to sign. So what does he do? He invests in technology that will help him to communicate with his pseudo daughter. Because he says, "But come on now, we know."
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I do want to ask this: where do you think he got that technology? You think that's stolen tech from Tony? Like some last tech that he might have had? Because where did he get this from?
This guy's got Batman money. Come on, man.
He
got Luthor money, bro. Come on, man.
I think he's richer than Lex Luthor.
Probably.
Ooh, we should look that up. I would be interested to know.
Let's find out on.
I mean, he's not the richest. I think the richest in Marvel is Black Panther.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about Batman, I think Batman is a healthy rich. Like he can spend 20. But
it's like a comic book Forbes or something like.
We have to look that
let
up.
Us know. Who's richer?
Of the richest.
Let us know.
Tony Stark or Kingpin. But yeah, he doesn't have the time to learn, sign language. Doesn't mean he doesn't care, which is why he invested in this technology to make it work. And I said, look at this man getting things done. I love and appreciate that about a man. Good job, Wilson Fisk. And the fact that
hold on, see the superior.
She found a zaddy in this show.
I've been saying that's his Daredevil. Kingpin is the true zaddy of the show. Kingpin.
Wow.
But
okay.
Yeah.
What did I send you when you said
like
you
bald, big with white suits?
What gift did I send you?
Was Steve Wonder?
No, it was Ray Charles. I know that.
Oh, Ray Charles.
It was Ray Charles.
So he invites himself in for dinner because they have like these Sunday dinner things to do. He was like, "Yeah, come in. We'll eat dinner together."
Maya, I'm hungry. Let's have some wine.
Yes. And she said,
"I got like a big
wine.
Mama complex."
Yeah, and when she said that she would pour the wine, and he just let her, I said, "This man is insane." She literally just tried to take your life. Like, wouldn't you be scared that she'd try to poison you or something?
Oh, yeah. Well, she thought that too. Because remember when he gave her the food and the wine, she poured that wine out immediately, which was a smart move.
Yeah, But why would he let her do
that?
that? Why would he let her pour the wine? Because she didn't know that she meant pour down the drain. It could have been, let's pour us some wine, and she could have, put a little arsenic in there or something and give it to him again.
That's true.
And we kind of felt that tension a little bit when the knife fell from the table. Like they were, opening up their silverware or, trying to unravel it from the napkin, and the knife fell on the ground. And it was like, okay, so you're going to try to, pick it up and stab him. Is he going to do it to her? It was like that tension that was there. And I enjoyed that scene because
that wasn't a good scene. I thought the whole table scene was pretty good because you got to flush a little bit more of their relationship and him. I don't think it was at this spot. I think it was later in the show because you guys was mentioning and talking about the tech. About how when he used it speaking sign language, but she mentions because that bothered her that you didn't even bother to learn that. But I thought it was interesting on this scene, and like we were talking before the show started, see how he wanted her to be the queen of the queen pin.
Yeah, and that didn't sit right
Wait
with
a
me.
minute. Wait a
I
minute.
think it's
Hang
just
on
the
a
wording
second.
of it.
Hang on a second. We're saying that he didn't learn sign language, but he did learn sign language. Remember the necklace? He noticed what the necklace says. So he learned. He did learn sign language. He did.
But it bothered her.
Clearly, he didn't learn. He didn't learn enough. I guess he probably learned like a couple of. He is spoiled. I mean, money does spoil.
She is spoiled. She is.
No, but I think it means something. It means something for someone when they take the time out to actually learn this stuff. We were talking about the grandfather yesterday and how he's like 89 years old, going on 100, but he took the time out to learn this thing. Wilson Fisk.
Hey, listen, that grandfather though, his game is on point.
Who was picking her little behind up from karate class when she was a little girl? Who was taking her out for ice cream? It wasn't grandmama who learned sign language.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been the kingpin if he never killed her father.
No, the king.
Well,
I think
he didn't kill her father until she was almost grown.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he was there for her whole life practically, and she's mad at him for inventing some tech, or at least purchasing some expensive tech.
He didn't invent the tech. Let's stop trying to make this guy like Albert Einstein.
Well, he made it happen. Either way, he made it happen. And if we're being honest, he should have showed up and shot her in the face. But because his love for her,
that's a seat of superior. There she is. There she is right there.
You know what that shows me? That shows me that she's all he got.
Yeah.
So you saw how he got mad in the plane?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's like a father's anger, bro. Like you can't control, you know what I mean? Like she's all he got. He got all that money. You can't trust nobody. You tell her that she's the only person you can trust. And then she doesn't want anything to do with you.
And what did he do after that? Just like a dad, he said, "Oh, you're not coming. I'm coming to drag your ass back on the plane."
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into the next episode, I feel like we touched on everything because this episode was really about Kingpin. But what did you guys think about Maya and her grandmother's conversation? Because there was a spot in the episode where they both have these visions from past, and I wish I knew that exact name. I don't want to butcher it, but from their ancestors, and they're like synced together, and they have this scene where they're at the table, they're talking, and Maya pretty much explains like, you left me, you ditched me, you disowned me.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to know what you guys thought about that scene.
It is a hard thing to confront a family member, and it shows Echo's strength that she was able to do that with her grandmother. I think that her grandmother kind of copped out. It's like, oh yeah, I was, your mother's death and, all of this and all of that. It's a cop out to me because at the end of the day, Echo was a child. Maya was a child. And her grandmother should have been old enough to realize that
she was old enough.
Yeah, exactly. Punish the child for the sake of the father. It doesn't make sense. But I'm glad that Maya was able to express that to her. And they do have that shared link of the ancestors and both seeing things with their ancestors. Yep. So I'm glad she was able to get like a little clarification from her grandmother. But I don't like grandma. I don't like her. And I didn't even like her by the end of the episodes. Episode 5, I didn't like her. Lord.
Okay.
Personally, I thought she was an interesting character because
here we go.
She never lied. She had a tough pregnancy. So when you have a tough pregnancy, I think one thing that happens is that the parents, they like love the child a little bit more, if that makes sense. Like I felt that way because like I know people personally that like they've had more than one child, but then the first child was hard to have. And then you just see how they treat that first child, if that makes sense. So now with this child, the mother loved her kid, but then her kid died. And then the granddaughter was just a reminder, clearly a reminder of her dead daughter. So I think that's probably one of the things that she had trouble with, but clearly she handled it wrong. She knew that she handled it wrong. She knew that she shouldn't have let all that time pass. One of my favorite characters though was the grandfather.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Clearly, like we don't know why they split up. Yeah, he was a tinkerer. He clearly we don't know
He
why
wanted
they
to
broke up,
something all right.
but
They broke up
yo,
because she's a bitter woman. That's what I think.
that's
He
probably
clearly
it.
has love for her.
And he
Oh
does.
yeah.
He's got a lot of love for her, and he's still like flirting with her, doing things for her, and all this other stuff. You know how like
My
when he,
man.
yo, did you peep how he saved that sewing machine for sure?
Mhm.
Oh
Nigga?
yeah. Not even just that.
She was fronting, she was ready to kiss him and everything, and she was
He
sitting
was
there
speaking
fronting.
in Lang's tongue. Speaking in
Yes,
the tongue.
yes. See, she was
She was
loving
glad
that.
that she wasn't impressed by Grandpa. I said, okay,
For
Grandpa,
real, man.
nasty. All right,
Listen, I ain't
nasty.
gonna lie. Like, if there's another season and all of a sudden they holding hands again, I'm here for it. I'm not gonna lie.
I
But
would be
Yeah.
for that too.
But she burns her bridges. That's the
she
problem.
does. She definitely does. She's way too emotional. She's one of those
But
like
she's a builder
emotional
though,
old
because she
ladies
ends up
that
building those bridges.
she reminds me of some of my students. Like they're scared of everything. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, you know, like some old people they get like that. But yeah, I'm happy to see that she got over her crap. But because yo, when she got those powers and she started kicking ass, I was like, go ahead, grandma. Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah,
Hey,
that was a power piece. She reminds me
yeah.
of, speaking of powers and familiar powers
Sure.
and bad grandparenting. She reminds me of the grandma from Encanto. I don't know if you guys saw that movie.
Encanto,
Oh,
yeah.
you need to watch it. That's a good movie. But if you're watching and you've seen Encanto, then she reminds me of that grandma. But yeah, when we do get to see that, she's drawing from her ancestors' powers, and her and she saw her mother,
Yeah.
and who broke down how the powers were kind of being reflected in Echo. I think the one power was love, which is the power that the mother possessed. Because we saw that she has some sort of healing ability, the mother, which was like, I was thinking when they disclosed that the mother has this healing ability, that when they did the flashback back to the car accident, we were going to see that maybe she tried to heal Echo, and maybe that's how why she passed away. Because if
that makes sense.
you had this healing ability, why not use it in that moment? But
I think she had to make a choice, and that actually makes a lot of sense.
That does make sense. A last minute choice, because I mean, well, yeah, they bled her brakes. Somebody cut her brakes,
right?
Then they killed her, but we still don't know who cut the brakes.
Which is a question that I don't think we ever got answered. The dad said he figured out who did it, but we don't, as the audience, never found out who it was.
Well, I mean, I got a feeling it's Kingpin somehow, because the guy.
I was thinking that too. It's like some kind of connection there, because she even says you got caught up with them and all that stuff. So I do think it has something to do. It's just, what was the reason behind it? Did he not do a cell? What was the reason? I think that's the thing.
I mean, but how did he get out? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how did he? Because the thing is just that, like, clearly they knew he was there for all that time. You know what I mean? They knew he was there. So, like, why is it that all of a sudden he's in danger when Maya comes back? Why all that time? He had the skating rink, apparently, and like he had all of these things.
Who's talking about, the uncle?
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
because he said how he used to work. He said how he used to do all of Kingpin's dirty work.
Yeah.
Right. So my question is, how did he stop? How did he get out?
I don't think he ever got out.
I don't think so. No, because Kingpin's the type of guy that he's like, the guy that gets rid of loose ends, the other bald guy from Black Lightning. What's his name?
Oh, Tobias.
Yeah, that's another Zaddy 80. But anyway.
Yeah, you kind of put yourself on the spot there, Victor.
No, I mean, she like them bald in suits and get shit done.
Bald in suits. Bald in suits.
But I think Henry, the uncle, he never got out of the game, so he runs the skating park, but he still does like things for Kingpin on the side or whatever. But it seems as if
no, he does actually.
He was trying to get out of it, but he just had really no choice. And he even mentioned to Maya when they had that scene where she disclosed to him that the Kingpin offered her like a higher position, that he never came for her because he was scared. He was scared of Kingpin. He was scared of the things that he'd done to their family. And it's like every adult kind of failed Maya, in her life, except for her dad, and Kingpin. I don't want to say it, but he was there all her life.
Yeah, all right. The next time I do a show with you, I'm gonna make sure I have some black glasses, and every time you say something, I'm just gonna do like this. Just
You're crazy if you think Kingpin did not, help that woman, help her.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't traumatize this little girl by beating the hell out of the ice cream man with blood on his hand. I was for it.
She was down for it.
Well, he certainly did make her a killer.
I think she even was like, "You made me this way." There's a
no. We see because when she was with, we see in the episode when we find out that her mother has healing abilities. That she always had a little crazy in her because you see she killed that damn.
Yeah, she killed a woodpecker.
Yeah, and that's
that was great. I was for it.
The first sign of serial killers if they start killing animals. She was a little off from a child,
Oh come on, please stop that. You're gonna attack a 5-year-old? Now don't get me wrong.
She killed the bird. She killed the bird.
You know why? You know why?
She didn't kill the bird. She hurt the bird, and the mother healed the bird. She didn't kill the bird. And mind you, she hit the bird by mistake and then brought the bird back.
No, she aimed for that bird. I'm not even gonna lie. That was some top-notch stuff right there. When she did that, she should be a villain in the 007 the way she had that shot.
She has that craziness in her. So the Kingpin didn't make her that way.
You about shooting a woodpecker?
Huh?
Nothing. Keep carrying on. I don't want to be exposed.
I will not stand by where you all try to, make the Kingpin.
You just want to stick up for what's his name? Kingpin, the bald king.
Right, like they say, hit it by mistake.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah, see, Dan is doing this mistake.
Yeah, but the power she gets from her ancestors, just to bring it back, is the power of love, which is that healing ability. The power of, I think they said, resistance. What she got from her first ancestor, Chafta. There was the power, like this power of strength, which she got from her, her sports playing ancestor. I forget her name. And there was one other one she got, but I forget that power. But yeah, that was pretty much how they broke it down, and how she was able to get these abilities. But we see also, I want to say it's in the final episode, where she gets her, for lack of a better term, super suit, made by her grandmother and revealed by her mother. What did you guys think about that suit?
I thought it was cool.
That was great. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought that was super cool. I mean, it's something different, and I like that they kept. And I think Vic, you was mentioning it earlier, talking about how they kept into the culture and everything like that. So I thought that was fantastic.
Now, for me, right? Sorry, for me, I like the fact that they kind of keep it to the culture, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, because they don't really do that with the white characters. Like, I think Daredevil's, is he like Irish or something? He don't got like little Lucky Charms and shit on his goddamn super suit. They only do that. Only do that.
Everyone's switching roles to that. Usually Vic is the one.
I mean, but wait a minute. How many white people keep their culture? I know a bunch of Italians that don't speak Italian.
I don't know, but when goddamn St. Patrick's Day come out, everybody's Irish, right?
Everybody's Irish because, all right, so what happens when Cinco de Mayo comes out? Everybody's Mexican. Same shit.
But think about it, even Thor. Thor is a Norse god.
Yeah.
Besides with the hammer, he has no little, Norse things on his suit. He just got a regular super suit with a cape on it.
I want everyone to know. In this whole thing, I'm staying quiet for this. See the superior, the floor is yours.
No, I'm just saying, like, I appreciate them acknowledging the culture, but come on now, every time they have a person of color, they have to tie it back in. Even, Miss Marvel, she had to have the traditional rap thing. They have T'Challa, he has all of these like African intricate designs.
I think that for those ones, they try to keep. Well, I'm not so much because you're talking about T'Challa's father. We're talking about with the thing around him, right?
Yeah.
But for Miss Marvel, they did try to keep stay in the comics. So I think that's what they're trying to do.
Why? Like, okay, because they don't do this with white characters. They don't do this with other, so it's always with the person of color that they have to, kind of do that. And
I think they just try to. I think they try to be respectful and try to I don't know. It's just try to be respectful. I'm sorry, I can't think of any other way of putting it, but just try to be respectful to it.
I get that, but at the same time, it kind of makes me feel how they say when you're a person of color, you can't just be
just
regular.
right?
You have to represent your race
right.
in some
way.
way.
I get that.
And that's kind of what it feels like with these superhero movies when they have to do things like that. Because like, can't it just be like, you know, just have a regular suit and just be here to protect people? It has to be that, you know, I have to represent.
I think certain superheroes, because like you said, Black Panther, I feel like his background, like it with his suit, it has to go with his background because he's from Wakanda, right?
Wakanda, okay.
Yeah, I think certain characters you have to.
When Black Panther came out, did you see how many people went to the movies with face paint on and all kinds of stuff?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's
like
true.
You know, when the representation is there, and then everybody will say representation matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, to a lot of people, representation matters, but to the majority of the people in this country, which is the white people, they don't necessarily need that because they're way higher in numbers. So you don't see those things. You need representations for everybody else because the rest of us are minorities. But anyway,
it doesn't have to be every superhero color. You know, has to have this. Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, that's neither here nor there.
I mean, but look, even Captain America, the new Captain America, you know what I mean? You saw how much of that went into history. So, like, you know, it's necessary to a certain point for the audience, but I see what you mean. Like, don't make it so.
It kind of is overdone too.
Don't make it so tribal. I see what you mean.
Yeah, like just let these heroes be heroes. Don't. It shouldn't matter that they're Black or Latino or something like it. You know, just let them be heroes. Because when I'm looking at a movie, I'm not looking at it, or I'm not saying let me look at this through the Black perspective or the Puerto Rican perspective or anything. I'm saying let me enjoy this movie. You know, let me enjoy this. And I wish that they would do that a little bit more. I'm not saying it has to go away completely, but I wish that there was a little bit less of, because I'm from this ethnic background, let's, tie everything into the fact that they're from this ethnic background. But anyway, in the finale, we get Maya. She's able to confront Kingpin. He did try to kidnap her grandma and her cousin and all that. Which was bad. Well, we're not going to act like it wasn't. It was.
Say that a little honestly, because I don't think I believe you.
It was. I guess it was. He didn't kill her.
She definitely finished this damn thing because I'm about done with you.
And she took out her little eyepiece, so she was completely done with it. She didn't want to see his little AI signs, and the fact that she had it in her eye when she was talking to her uncle, and he was, talking about how much he wanted to get out of the game. I was like, wow, she really about to let him say all of this, and she got this little possible spyware in her eye still. Yeah. He could have been listening on the other side, and you never.
Pretty sure he was.
But
I'm still. That's gonna be the phone in 10 years.
Right.
I just wanted to say real quick because when you was talking about this, because I know we're running on time here, but if Nintendo had done this years ago, they would have called it iWii or something like that. They would have made sure. I couldn't resist that one. I had to throw that out there. Nintendo would have definitely abused the hell out of that.
Yes. But she was able to use her healing powers to attempt to heal Kingpin. And I'm thinking when she did it, I was like, was she trying to kill the eye that she shot out? Like, what is she doing? Right. But she was trying to heal him emotionally, internally. And he had like the whole scene where he flashed back into his childhood room.
So a few things, right? Fantastic job on this lead. But just to go back to the previous episode, because this hammer plays into it, because he talked about that's the hammer that he used on his father, because his father would abuse the mother and all that stuff, and he said, I just got tired of it and I wanted to be free. But I just thought it was so hilarious in this scene. Not that it was funny that this was all going on, but you see a grown Kingpin sitting in this childlike bed, and he just like, Kingpin, you're like 285 pounds, break through the wall. But I got it that he was going back into time when he was so weak when he was a child.
Dealing with his childhood trauma. And
I was confused by that.
How?
I didn't know she knew. How did she know what to do? How did she know how to do that?
Well, her ancestors being able to.
I guess. Well, all right. I mean, because the thing is, like, she wanted him to see his past, and then he was all like, "Oh, what'd you do to me?" and all of that. It made it seem like she knew exactly what to do. If she was getting help, then she was getting help. But I just
Pretty
found
sure.
that part of it to be weird because in that moment she looked like a seasoned veteran with these powers that she just got. If that
I'm going
makes
to
sense.
assume it's, a little bit of, intuition from, her own grief and dealing with that. And also
Right there.
that fact that her ancestors, she
Powerful
maybe
stuff.
takes powers from her ancestors, and Echo had the power of family. That's
Yeah, she did.
It would
I
have been
guess
so
so.
great
'Cause
if Vin Diesel just,
grandma was kicking ass.
Vin Diesel
Oh
should have
yeah,
just
when
drove
she
through the building.
says herself.
She was kicking ass though.
And speaking of Biscuit came out with the
My
monster
boy
truck.
Biscuit.
Biscuits was ill with that monster truck, man.
Oh, he
What?
was.
The man was like,
Sorry,
"You have a weapon."
Grandma.
He was like, "You
Yeah,
have a weapon? I got something better than a weapon." What?
and this must be his grandma's truck when he was trying to get it fixed and sell his PS4. Remember any other episodes?
How much did he sell for that PS4 though?
Right.
He was really trying to get $100 for the PS4. I was like,
Yeah.
"Damn, that's kind of low." But okay.
Someone must have really because that was ridiculous for a monster truck. Whoa.
But overall, I enjoyed the series. Honestly, like I said, I feel like some things could have been trimmed out. But I enjoyed it overall, and I'm excited to get back to the street level fighters and and tell their stories, because all of this intricacy with the timelines and the TVA, and it's interesting, but after a while it becomes a lot. So I like that it's kind of not resetting but giving other options in Marvel in case that whole world ending thing isn't necessarily your gig on your weekly television shows or anything like that. So yeah, I enjoyed it. What do you guys think?
I was surprised we didn't see more of Daredevil. Like we got like a snippet of Daredevil, but very little. Like this kind of feels more like the Kingpin show. You know what I mean? Like because I feel like Kingpin is. I mean, it's clearly centered around Maya, but I think that Kingpin is really the focal point. I mean, like without Kingpin, I don't think this show would be successful. I mean, it would be successful to certain communities, yeah, because you representation and all that. But yeah, I think that people are just way more intrigued with Kingpin and to see what's going on with him and what he's all about. Especially since Disney bought Marvel and and we haven't seen Kingpin since back then. So I'm very curious to see where Daredevil gets mixed into all this because you saw very little of Daredevil. So yeah, we'll see because this definitely was an interesting show, and more than anything, it just felt like the beginning of something. There's definitely going to be another season. So
You think so?
Yeah, I definitely think so because like even at the end, like he was all you could see Kingpin is all like, "What'd you do to me? What'd you do to me?" So then there's going to be some kind of a comeback. You know what I mean? From something. So yeah, good shit. Oh, gotta go, sir.
What do you think, that?
I enjoyed it. It was great. But real quick before we cut off, did you guys? Yeah, I was gonna say, did you guys see the post scene?
Yes.
Scene?
Yes. There you go. There you go. Look,
that was the post credit scene. Let's talk about it real quick before we go. He's on a plane going right back to New York, and as he's going to New York, he's watching New York 1, and they see that there's a mayor position, I think, that's open, and it looked like he's going to run for it. And I like that because it gives you an idea of what's his Daredevil Born Again was going to be like. But I enjoyed it. You mentioned there wasn't enough
Tobias.
Daredevil. It's going to be a Tobias thing, yes.
Yeah.
But you talked about not enough of Daredevil, but I was fine with that because it was just nice to know that he's a part of this universe. Something that they also mentioned I looked up was that they said he was around for the Thanos snap and he survived. So I thought that was actually really cool. I saw that they could actually confirm that. But I thought this was great. This was great stuff. I'm glad like how you mentioned to go back to the street level stuff. And this was a fun watch.
I wonder if he'll be going up against Froggy, because didn't he turn into like a politician at the end of Daredevil? Like he wanted to get out of lawyering and get into politics.
I don't
That
know
would
if they
be
got those actors
interesting.
back.
That would be cool.
That would be cool
to see them back. Oh man, that would be cool. To see
But-
Froggy and the blonde chick back. Yeah.
Oh Lord, the real villain.
Facts.
But that's the episode. We gotta go. If you're still interested in watching a little bit more in Popular Review, you all will be reviewing a movie just moments after this.
Fantastic
What
Four.
movie?
Fantastic Four, and a Marvel movie.
Ooh.
You know, it's funny because it's hard. It's hard to see Captain America as Johnny Flame. Like it's just hard to see it. You know what
But
I mean?
that was his start though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. And he's
I
like,
had a hard time thinking he was Captain America. I said, "You Johnny Storm, stop playing with me." And now I can't stop saying that's Captain America. That's America's
so if you're
ass.
interested in some more Marvel with Popular Review, join them in just a few moments on YouTube to talk about that. But thanks for watching. We will see you all again very soon to talk about another show. And have a good evening. Bye.
take care, y'all.
Bop, 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 bop.